But talking about KE,
Yeah.
the Sacramento Kings bench and Kessler Edwards, they've been playing well since the All-Star break. Not so much on Monday, but they've been really solid. And Kessler Edwards had that huge game against the Suns and really helped them push them over for the win on Saturday.
Big time. Yeah. You take 9 out of 10 games, the bench is playing great. You take that. Obviously, you kind of needed them a little bit more in the Bucks game. And it's not like they were terrible. Like I said, Lyles was making a huge impact in that game, both during the game and in the headlines afterwards. But it just was not the same element to the first 9 games because it just seems like Malik Monk is just firing on all cylinders, shooting the 3. He's over 4 assists in this stretch, efficient scoring. Has really impacted the game at different points in a lot of the ways that you saw him do it earlier in the season. Just being able to be either play off of Sabonis or be out there as an extra facilitator when Sabonis isn't on the floor. Davion Mitchell, we've seen him a lot more comfortable with the offense in a few of his spot starts and coming off the bench. He's had some good moments. He definitely looks more comfortable. I think we already kind of mentioned Lyles. But the other 2 guys, Metu and Kessler Edwards, mainly Kessler Edwards, because I think it was good you brought him up. Man, he seems like he, at least right now, is in that rotation.
Yeah. And he definitely earned a spot after that Suns game. And you saw him get put in the rotation pretty quickly in that Bucks game. But he got a little trigger happy, in my opinion. I don't know. He missed a couple threes and he kind of didn't really play much after that.
Yeah, I mean, he took like 3 shots, 2 threes, I think, if I'm not making that up. I felt like the threes kind of fell within the offense. I think one of them was late in the shot clock.
I want to say one was quick in the shot clock, too.
You know what? I think you might be right about that.
Yeah, it was like a quick shot, and it's like, oof, and he missed it. And I want to say he didn't come back in after that stint.
I think he played a pretty even distribution of minutes between the first and second half. Let me pull it up real quick. But
I know I didn't look at this. Hey, he played 18 minutes, so he must have.
But yeah, Kessler Edwards. I mean, he see it. He just defensively makes a huge impact, and he's really good at what he does. And I mean, obviously, the Kings were looking like when everybody's like, "Man, the Kings could use that 3-and-D guy off the bench at the wing position." Like that's just if they get a really good guy like that, it's huge. It's like Kessler Edwards might be a slightly cut rate version, but it's like his stock can only rise.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think you're right because he didn't take any shots in the first half.
You serious? Wow.
Yeah, and it was 3 field goal attempts, 2 of them from 3.
Well, then maybe he got pulled after that then.
Could have.
So one of them was super early. It was like a 1 pass and he shot it. I'm like, oof.
Yeah.
It
was like kind of like a dribble handoff action.
Yeah, on like the wing.
He rimmed it.
Don't do that.
It's like Giannis is the guy that's on him, and so Giannis, of course, gets a great contest up.
I know. And Metu pulled that same stuff. He took like a step back shot on Giannis.
You know, Metu, if we can move on to Metu, because Metu gets me so close to being like, you know what, I believe in Chimezie Metu. And then he just does something where I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? What? Because they kind of used him to guard Giannis a little bit, and like he struggled at first, but he kind of like bore down there a little bit. I didn't really go into detail with the game recap on that. That fight was just such a focus, but like you could see, and I feel like there was the game where the Raptors came to town and really messed with the Kings. It might have been that game. I think they were using Metu in a certain kind of way that wasn't like they were just using his length, and there's like more to him. I just feel like the versatility potential is there for Metu. I mean, he's still got a long way to go, obviously. I mean, he's not going to be shutting down Giannis. Obviously, nobody is. But he, in terms of a guy that can give a guy like that a different look, I mean, it's an option, and there's a potential to grow there. But then it's just like, I don't know, he just takes so many shots that are just not great. And I feel like he's been having these attempts where it's like 1 or 2 a game since the All-Star break. And it almost makes me think like there's a green light for him to do it, where he'll kind of take a shot off the dribble, where he'll like go in, dribble in, go for a layup or a hook or something, turn around, do something of that nature. And a lot of times he misses. Sometimes he'll like sink it or like look kind of good doing it. But most of the times, it just kind of feels like that wasn't the best shot. I mean, it's been an interesting thing with Metu all season.
If you guys listen to the podcast enough, I'm not the biggest Metu fan. Yeah, I'll give him his props. Like, he's performed well this year as a guy who probably shouldn't be the backup center, but is. But I don't know. I just can't wait until we have a different backup center. That's what I want to say. I'm happy that Lyles is kind of being moved to that 5.
Maybe.
That backup 5.
Well, we were talking a couple weeks ago about Vezenkov coming in and maybe replacing Lyles.
Yeah.
And maybe that just...
Well, maybe they'll just bring back Lyles and put him as a backup 5.
Or toy with one of them as a small 5 type.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? The options are abounding.